So why are we here? Now, why did we bring together academics and the Banco Central and the incubators? No? So first, yeah, who are we and why are we doing this? We're the Civic Asian Development Academy, and we work at the intersection of leadership, innovation, and impact. No? So to us, we teach leadership. We work with governors, mayors, um, on governance innovations, but we also want our teaching and coaching to be measurable in terms of development impact. Um, and one way we do that is by engaging universities and helping them set up labs or activating labs in partnership with them. No? So what are social labs? No? Parang sanay naman tayo, may chemistry lab and physics lab, but what are social labs? One, they are multi-sectoral collaborative communities. So they bring together practitioners, gaya nito sa meeting na to. We have bankers, academics, economics, engineering, psychology, physics, ganyan. Because the problems are complex and we need multiple perspectives. Second, they are experimental. We have to try, well, this COVID forces us to do a series of experiments. So trying to figure out MECQ, ECQ, ganyan, ganyan. No? So, and in financial inclusion, we are expecting second order and third order problems. And we need to experiment our way forward. And the lab provides a platform for that. Third, they are systemic. You know, the ideas um, are meant to be to be plugged into the broader ecosystem, recognizing that the solutions will not work as standalone technologies. No? And we have some prior experience with this. No? We had the opportunity to work with 11 universities with DSWD. We designed the curriculum. We taught 11 universities, including Ateneo de Nagas, Siliman, Ateneo de Zamboanga, uh, and well, 11 of them. And they, in turn, trained 1,000 social workers in 1,000 municipalities. No? And yung training nila, may practicum. So they had to engage the mayors in real governance innovation conversations. And when we did that, sabi namin ang uh, part of the evidence that you're doing your homework is you have to have a selfie with the mayor. That's evidence that you had indeed engaged the mayor and you were trying to work on something at the local level. And we did this across 11 universities. And we thought that it was a very, to my mind, a very high leverage activity to be working with universities, especially with complex problems. No? This is what we were thinking prior to COVID. No? BARM. BARM has a large of unbanked population, and they're also going through this transition from the MILF to Parliament. So we thought, what if we did multi-site research with multiple universities along the financial inclusion problem set? Okay? That way, bibilis yung learning natin. No? And actually, with COVID, we're seeing an unprecedented collaboration among scientists. No? Mostly in the epidemiology, in the health sciences, but there's no reason why we cannot synergize with each other in terms of R&D for financial inclusion. So we had planned to bring in somebody who was a new adopter of fintech during the ECQ. I, in fact, recorded an interview this morning. I interviewed a contact sa Payatas, but the interview was too long, so instead, I was planning to play it during this meeting, but we're running out of time. So I'll just summarize his case. No? I interviewed, his name is Kevin, that's not his real name. He's 18 years old, a 2-year-old kid. He lives with his wife and at his mother's place in Payatas. And he got his GCash account 2 Fridays ago. And then he received 8,000 pesos. No, he was lucky because his name was already on the list of the barangay. So wala siya masyadong problema sa identification and all that because he's been a long term resident there, but he had shared that yung mga nangungupahan na kapitbahay nila na wala pa sa listahan ng barangay, they had a really difficult time proving that they were from there. Many of them were not able to get their ayuda because they were basically unknown to the barangay because they were just renting. No? He when he got his 8,000 pesos, he instead of buying food, like actually nahiya sila yan na ang ginamit niya, pinangpaayos niya ng kwarto nila in his mother's place because they're squeezing in his mother's place sa Payatas. Uh, Inang paayos niya. Tapos nahiya sila because alam niya na at least in the news, the poor households are expected to be buying food. Pero sabi nila, every week naman merong nagdadala ng bigas sa simbahan. So they get, on top of this ayuda, they get food rations from all sorts of donors. So they instead, sabi nila, bihira naman kami makakuha ng 8,000 pesos in a lump sum. So pinangpaayos na lang nila ng kwarto nila. They made a little loft para may extra floor square footage inside their place. No? So that's how he did it. Tapos in terms of encashing the 8,000 that went to his GCash account, nabalitaan lang na sobrang haba ng pila sa pawn shop. So instead, he had transferred it to the friend of his mother who had a BDO account. So GCash to BDO. Tapos kinuha na niya na lang cash from that friend of his mother who was a neighbor. Instead of so parang meron ng mini informal tellers who help people bypass the long lines in the pawn shop. Tapos sabi na actually mas mura kasi sa pawn shop 180 pesos yung service fee, pero kung bank to bank daw it's much lower, and he was charged 100 pesos na lang kaltas, no? So may transaction fee rin doon sa informal but it was much lower and much more efficient for him. Yun, no? So ano yung nakita na, why are we convening a meeting between academics and the Bangko Sentral and the incubators, no? What might be in this for you? We thought that one, if we got our students and faculty to focus on the complex problems triggered by this pandemic recession, then that would be a good use of brain power. No? Naghanap rin naman ng problem set yung mga estudyante, then why not work on the problem set on financial inclusion? Of course, that's among the many other problem sets triggered by COVID. No? Second, for the incubators, the Financial Inclusion Lab can help develop differentiated track for idea incubation. No? And then third, we will, through the Financial Inclusion Lab, we will help faculty and students go on a deep dive quickly, no? Because it's a complex space, multidimensional. It's not your regular discipline that you teach within the College of Engineering or College of Economics. So the Financial Inclusion Lab will accelerate the deep dive into this problem space. And then fourth, there's an opportunity to bring the diverse disciplines and connect possibly through the incubators in the universities. Because we want this to be more than just a description of the problem. We're hoping that we actually get to incubate new technologies and startups to complement whatever's already out there. Now, maybe we can incubate technologies that become extensions of the technology of GCash or Palawan Pera Padala. No? Para mabilis yung conversion of the technology from the university to commercial release. And then number 5, we know that the faculty, there are term papers and student projects, and of course you're adjusting to this online learning thing. But there's still a lot of value, and now is a good time to teach students to use their tools to bear upon the complex problems that we're facing right now. And then we see that, this is the finance industry, and we're crossing our fingers that bankers and other financial institutions will begin to see the university as partners in accelerating innovation. Okay. So this is how we see it, no? Yung the the financial inclusion lab will be operating at the intersection of the university, the classroom work, and then the financial institutions. No? And then there will also be they will also be engaged in conversations with the community so that they will be able to bring together data points from the discipline, from the practice, and from the community. And that we feel that that could also be a compelling learning methodology. Okay, so ano yung pwedeng configuration? What are the scenarios for university participation in the financial inclusion lab? One, we imagine that pwedeng may practitioner fellows, no? So these could be bankers who will visit the College of Engineering or College of Economics and talk at courses so that the students will become more grounded in the practice of the industry. We can have teaching fellows, no, faculty who are interested in extending their teaching to this problem set, whether it's engineering or social work or economics or IT. And then research fellows, graduate students or undergraduate students who are looking for a thesis topic or a project to work on anyway that they need to execute in the first or second semester. We also see that kunwari in pwedeng Quezon City, the Quezon City is also interested, also wants their population to become increasingly included financially, and they could also be part of this lab community. And then advisors, no, possibly from the incubators who have expertise in human-centered design, and then donors and venture capitalists. So yeah, no, for the next segment, we thought that maybe we can have a discussion of how we might, as we enter as we start the first semester, and we know that you're teaching diverse subjects this semester, no, how might the Financial Inclusion Lab, collaborate with your colleges so that we can co-create solutions to the financial inclusion gaps. Yeah, yun yung, so maybe that can be the next part of this conversation.